Back here at the Hall of History, and we're taking our look at the civil rights movement during the 1960s, along with the uproar of the Vietnam and the angst it caused in the country. This was also the time where the civil rights movement really took off and took hold, and really added to the turbulence of the 1960s. Prior to the civil rights movement, the whole idea throughout the country was, especially south of the Mason-Dixon line, was separate but equal. I can remember as a very, very young boy going down to Memphis, Tennessee, and actually seeing bathrooms and drinking fountains down there when I was visiting my mom's aunt. There was one for the blacks and one for the white. And this was really put forth through the Plessy versus Ferguson Supreme Court case, and it allowed for legal segregation as long as it was a separate but equal. But as you can, most people would tell you, common sense would tell you, really there is going to be no such thing if one group of people is separated from the other. During the civil rights movement, it was really a non-violence movement. In theory, it was based on civil disobedience, modeled after Thoreau and Gandhi. Gandhi was in India, and he helped overthrow the British immediately following the years of World War II. Civil obedience, and you can read this for yourself here, but you're not resorting to physical violence. Well, most of the greater society saw this as a threat against the way that life always was, especially in the areas when you're looking at the deep south. And there was many attacks on the blacks by the white community, and they were these attacks were done by the, as you can see here, fire department, police departments, and so forth. And we're going to look at a little bit later when I looked at actually went through the Selma and Montgomery March. I have a few pictures to show you of that, and I'll show you those in class under a separate heading. Well, how did the Greater Society respond? It was racism. This famous picture here. This is again you're looking at in the deep south of a policeman sicking his police dog, this German Shepherd, on a black person there during one of these nonviolent marches here. Uh, Mass prejudice spread all over the nation. As the mainstream culture, really, it was a fear of the change of their lifestyle. And anytime something is going to interrupt a person's lifestyle, there's going to be some backlash. Uh, People do not like change, and when you got into the 60s with the whole idea of Vietnam going on, and also the civil rights movement, there was a definite fear that the uh, the lifestyle of the average American was going to change. A couple people who characterized was Rosa Parks. In fact, there is a statue of her on Monroe Mall there, and I actually went to the spot where she boycotted or refused to give up her seat. Now, again, I'll show you some of those pictures a little bit later. She was jailed, and the Montgomery bus boycott began in response to that. At this time, blacks were told to go to the back of the bus. It was the law down, especially down in the deep south. And Montgomery is the capital city of Alabama. Martin Luther King, as we all know, again was a leader of this of the Montgomery bus boycott. A very gifted speaker, and he arose to a national status with the boycott success. He was the founder of the Southern Christian Leadership Association, and probably his most famous speech he did in Washington, D.C. I believe it was on the Washington Mall there, was the I Have a Dream speech during a march in Washington, D.C. Another group was the Freedom Riders, and you can read this here. And it was interesting as these freedom riders rolled throughout the South. Angry white mobs attempted to destroy the buses and attempted to kill the people inside. Uh, the Kennedy administration supported the group and desegregated interstate travel. At this time, even interstate travel was segregated. And this next slide shows leave the driving to us. That's definitely a Greyhound slogan, and you can see blacks and whites alike were gotten off the bus that came under attack. And through the next couple, probably next couple 3 weeks here, we'll be looking at in some detail the civil rights movement. But right now, that is the end.